And we're live. Can I start talking? We're live. What's up, everybody? I think we're making this work. Thank you so much. My name is Ahmed Ahmed. For the people that can't pronounce my name properly, it's Ahmed Ahmed. This is the Axis of Evil 12-year reunion virtual comedy show. We're doing as a charity to benefit the International Medical Corps. Please donate. And just before I bring on our guests, big round of applause to Yusuf Hawash, who is our producer and engineer for this virtual comedy show. Yusuf.
Hey
man. Thank you so much for. Hey man, thank you for doing this. None of us are that tech savvy, and you are. So, representing Libya, thank you for broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, here in Los Angeles, Dubai, and New York. So, big ups to you. Thanks to you. So, follow him on Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's get right into it. Yeah. Let's
do it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Whoever's out there, we can't see you, but we'll be taking questions and comments for the next hour. Since this quarantine happened, we decided we would want to bring something special to the people out there in the world who are really thriving for stand-up comedy. I personally get a lot of requests for the Axis of Evil comedy tour to do a reunion. We were close to doing a couple live reunions in the past, and it just didn't work out. But here we are virtually, so it did work out this way. I'm going to bring up all the guests, and we'll kind of talk about how it all got started. But in 2007, actually 2006, the Axis of Evil comedy tour kind of spawned at the Comedy Store with myself, Aron Kader, Maz Jobrani. Later, Dean Obeidallah and Wonho Chung from the Middle East joined on. And we were a groundbreaking tour. We had a lot of support from all of you people around the world who were watching stand-up comedy back then. So thank you for your support. Ramadan Kareem and happy Ramadan to all of you people out there practicing and observing. Without any further ado, I'm going to bring on all the guys from the Axis of Evil comedy tour. First up, you've seen him in several movies. He's one of the co-founders. He's been on TV. He's all over the place. You can check him out on Netflix. Welcome, Maz Jobrani, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How are you, Ahmed? How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? Thanks for making time to reunite with the crew.
Thanks for putting us back together. Ahmed, you're in LA, right?
I'm in LA, yeah. You are as well, yeah?
Yeah, I think in about 15 to 20 minutes, there's going to be F-16 jet fighters flying over. Did you hear about this? This is happening. I'm serious. It's happening.
I thought you were joking.
No, it's the Blue Angels. It's not the Blue Angels. It's another, but they're flying over. Trump said it was for the medical workers. We all know it's in celebration of the Axis of Evil reunion. So he didn't want to say that, but they're going to be flying over. So anybody watching this in LA, watch it near a window so you can look out when the jets fly really fast.
All right, good to know. I didn't know that. All right. Yeah. Well, welcome, Maz. Coming up next, the other co-founder of the Axis of Evil comedy tour. You've also seen him in film, television. We toured all over the Middle East together. We made history. He's now a proud father and husband. How about a big hand for Aron Kader, everybody? Aron Kader.
Good to be here.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good, man. You avoiding going back home to your folks in Riverside, or you seeing them?
I went for a second just to go pick some stuff up, but yeah, I want to make sure I get tested, and I either have it or don't. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I want to make sure they're safe. Your family all safe and sound out there?
Yeah. I got an 8-month-old. Actually, when this thing started, I think he was 7 months. Now he's 9 months. Like the kid's like about to take his SATs by the time this ends. and then I got a 4-year-old Noor, and she's just slightly on the spectrum. She's a handful. It's been a full-time chore just to keep the kids occupied,
Well, I'm glad they're safe and sound, and it's good to see you here virtually. Thanks for joining. Our next guest, you know him from Sirius XM Radio. He produces the New York Arab American Comedy Festival. He was a sort of added member of the Axis of Evil comedy tour when we started to get some traction. You've seen him on Comedy Central Presents. Please welcome Dean Obeidallah, everybody. Dean Obeidallah.
Hey guys, it's so good to be here with you. Ahmed, thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. Aaron, it's great to see. It's great to see you guys. It's like the days when we toured. So it's fun.
I know, man. 12 years have gone by.
I can't believe 12. I can't believe how fast time goes. We all know that, and I think it's great that you're fighter jets celebrating this in LA. We don't have it. We just have like random shots fired in anger on the streets of Manhattan today. So you guys are
Dean, 12 years later, you haven't aged. Is it the Snapple? You've been drinking
Yeah.
Snapple for 12 years?
I'm drinking the Snapple because it's going to kill you. So I started drinking Honest Iced Tea, which is my appearance is brought to you by Honest Iced Tea. No,
You got the Captain America. You were frozen in ice.
He's Captain America. That's right.
Captain Muslim America. That's what I am. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks for including me. And it's great to see Wonho as well, who you're welcoming as well. It's great to be here with you guys.
Yeah, so coming up next, and we're going to hear about what we've been doing for the last 12 years, what we're doing now, and take questions and answers. We'll do some new material. But coming up next is our fifth member of the Axis of Evil. He joined us when we went to the Middle East. We did a sold-out show with, I think, 5 countries, over 20,000 people. We did it in 27 days. He was not a comedian at the time. He was a producer for Showtime Arabia. He came on tour with us, and we beat the shit out of him. Comedy. And now he's a big star in the Middle East and all over Asia. One of our dear friends. Please welcome Wonho Chung, everybody.
What's up?
Wonho.
Hello, everybody. Oh
Hey.
my God, this is amazing. This is so exciting.
Where's Ahmed?
Oh yeah, is Ahmed here? Ahmed left.
I think it logged
Ahmed has
him
left
off.
the building.
Okay.
Wonho, Ahmed had said in his contract he's not to be in the same room as Wonho. So as soon as you came on, he logged off.
Listen, there
Yeah.
can only be one hole in any room at any moment
right.
in time.
We only have room for.
1970? What's behind you there? That's like 1975. That's like Jersey 75. What is that behind you? Like that clock. It's very.
Sorry, guys, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me.
Ahmed is back.
Ahmed is back.
Sorry, man. I got. As soon as you logged on, it logged me off. So I don't know what's going on.
Let's not take that as a sign. We're all
Dean had a-
so excited.
Dean had a good idea. We should all describe what's behind us. So Wonho has 3 vanity mirrors. Are those paintings? What is that?
So this is these are just like mirrors, and this is my dining table, and I'm in my living room, which is actually a little dark, but my house is styled in the mid-century modern style, hence a hint of the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Are the three mirrors there to make the house look roomier, or for you to look at yourself 3 times every time you walk through the living room?
I try to look at myself as often as possible. Plus, that mirror was on 70% sale, so it was irresistible. I had to buy it.
I've been in that place, Wonho. I think you've been in that place for 6-8 years, huh?
No, actually, it's a similar furniture, but I just moved here a year and a half ago.
Aaron, what's behind you? Are you making meth? You look like you're in Breaking Bad. What is going on over there? Oh, okay.
This is my garage, because otherwise the kids would probably interrupt and cause a big problem. But I have thought about making meth. It's a good thing to do during Ramadan, easier to fast, you know?
Real quick, we have some shout outs from Abu Dhabi, Bloomington, Indiana, and I didn't see the last one. Las Vegas, Nevada. What's up?
What the hell's a guy named Sohail doing in Indiana? What happened, Sohail?
Well,
Messages if you want us to come in to get you. Cam Kader is over there. Aaron, one of your relatives.
oh, Cam, yeah, that's
Dean.
my cousin.
Yes, my friend.
Dean, what's behind you?
I rented this apartment just for the shoot. I live in a really These are just books. It's Thomas Jefferson's
I
Quran.
lost Dean for some reason.
All right,
What's up from Bahrain?
it's my books and just my apartment. It's nothing special.
Dean,
I can't hear Dean.
Dean,
You guys?
Ahmed, can you hear me? I'll tell you what Dean just said. Can you hear me? Dean was saying, welcome to the 2020 version of Axis of Evil, where we have interpreters. There's technical difficulties. So Dean was saying, Ahmed, that he's got those books behind him. And it reminds me of when Dr. Fauci was being questioned by the Senate the other day. And he had all these books around him. And Dean, I don't know if you know this, the more books you have, the more the people on the right are going to hate you.
Exactly.
So they don't like that. That's why I only have 5 books. So at least I get a little bit of love.
remix. This is excellent. For me, I like remix.
For some reason, I can't hear Dean, so I need to. Yusuf,
Ahmed, you got to log off and log on.
Let me log off and log on. I'll be right back.
It was going well with him.
It was. We had something going. Let's catch up. Dean, what have you been doing the past 12 years?
Nothing. I talked to you many times. What's behind you? Come on, Maz. Tell us what you.
I have books over there, and then I got my window open for when the jet fighter pilots fly over. I'm going to go look outside.
You could be targeted. You're an Iranian guy in Trump's world.
I am. It's hard. The books I have Elton John. I have Elton John all the way to the Black Wave. So I've got gay rock star to the rise of Islamic governments in Iran and Saudi Arabia.
Yusuf, can you hear me?
That's a nice balance.
Yeah.
Ahmed, can you hear us?
I can hear you now, Dean, but I can't hear Maz. And Aaron,
You can't hear me?
That's
Are
the
you
best.
serious?
That's the best.
Can you hear me?
This is the worst. This is the worst thing I've ever done.
There's two Aarons.
Comedy special. Maz, can you still hear us?
I can hear you. I hear you.
You're the guy from the
You
vlog.
can't-
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Like,
Is this a Saturday Night Live sketch?
please.
I have no idea what's going on.
You'd think we'd technically have this shit down by 2020, right? But still.
All right, so hold on.
Struggling.
Hold on.
Everybody
Wonho,
pause for a
you can hear
second.
me,
It's
right?
gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
When a Libyan says it's going to be okay, that's, we're fucked.
That's called history because no Libyan has ever said that.
Yusuf, can you hear everybody?
I can hear every single one of you guys. So real quick, we'll just start at the top. Ahmed, can you hear Maz?
Hello, Ahmed. Can you hear me?
No,
Aaron, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonho, can you hear me?
I can hear Aaron. I can
Dean,
hear
can you hear
Wonho.
me?
I can hear.
And Dean, can you talk? I can hear everybody but Maz.
Perfect. So the Egyptian
Maybe
filter is
that's-
on.
maybe that's
We
a good
figured out. We can't- we're almost there. Everybody can almost hear everybody.
This is why we can't liberate Palestine. We can't even get this thing to work. How are we going to ever Aaron, we can't get our land back. We can't get
I'll tell you what. Let's do this because I know people are watching and I don't want to waste their time, and I know we have a hard out. So I can hear everybody except for Maz. So maybe Dean or Wonho or Aaron, I can tell you, hey, can you introduce Maz and vice versa?
I can hear you. I hear you, Ahmed.
Maz
I
can
hear
hear
you.
me. Okay,
Okay.
actually,
I can hear Maz.
Maz, just do sign language with me then.
free word. Free.
I hear you. I'm in
All
the
right.
chat. I
Who
hear
doesn't hear
Let's
Maz?
just get-
Ahmed.
Just you?
I just did a
Let's
chat.
just
Live
get
comment.
into it. Let's just get into it.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out and acknowledgement to Mitzi Shore. Without her, we probably would not have all met. She, God rest her soul, she passed away recently. She was the owner of the world famous Comedy Store. It was her original vision and kind of prophecy to put Middle Eastern comics together when no one else was doing it. So she put myself, Maz, and Aaron together at the Comedy Store. She called the show Arabian Nights originally. Sam Tripoli was a part of it. Sebastian Maniscalco actually was in the Arabian Nights for a second. And then we just kind of broke off as a trio and decided to just make this more Middle East specific. And then we eventually changed the name to Axis of Evil because Maz isn't Arab and you're not supposed to call Iranians Arab. So we said, hey, let's change the name. So President Bush coined the phrase Axis of Evil, and that's how it all started. Eventually, Dean Obeidallah came in from New York City, who's half Palestinian. He sort of was the quartet of the group, Comedy Central, shot a special with us. We got on TV. We were the first Middle Eastern comedy special ever. Then we did a tour in the Middle East, and that's where Wonho Chung got looped in. So that's how it all started. If those of you that don't know the history, that's kind of how it all happened. So big ups to Mitzi Shore, big ups to Maz, Dean, Aaron, Wonho for being trailblazers and pioneering this whole Middle East movement and cause. And I guess I'll just start with you, Maz. Since Axis of Evil, Mo Amer, Hassan Minaj, Rami Youssef, Amir K. You know, the list goes on and on. A lot of these young Middle Eastern chaps and females, you know, came out and were able to kind of blaze the trail and make a career for themselves. You know, how do you think your effect as a comic from the Middle East, you know, impacted the world?
I think I started all this. This is kiss my hand right now, every one of them. No, you know, you can't hear me, right? You cannot hear me. You don't hear me.
Ahmed, can you hear him?
I hear you.
Okay, you guys hear me. Okay, so I'll tell real quickly. I think it's been great. I think part of it is generational for anybody watching right now. I think what it is when immigrants come to a country, they want their kids to be lawyers, doctors, get into business, make money. Comedian is not at all in that dialogue. And so there's going to be a generation of people who start taking those steps. And so we were older. We started doing comedy in the late 90s, I believe. I've been doing it for 22 years now. And it's great to see as these other generations come along. We have comedians, we have filmmakers, we have writers, all kinds of stuff. So I think it's just going to grow and grow and grow. So we're in a great place. And now we're back to doing it to our computers. What the hell's going on? Someone said meow, meow. Dean.
Yes, what?
I think Ahmed can't hear me. Tell him I finished.
Ahmed, he's finished talking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he stopped. What are you?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
And you're
I'm here.
Okay, Ahmed's back.
I'm here. Sorry, guys.
Great.
So Maz is done
Thanks,
talking.
Maz.
Yes, thank you.
Maz. I didn't hear one thing you said, but thank you.
It was great.
Aaron, why don't you coattail and piggyback, you know, your experience, you know, of what Maz said. Like, what was your sort of, did you even think that we were going to have any sort of impact with our tour?
I mean, I think we all were in agreement that we could make that impact. But Maz had just mentioned how, you know, he is in his 22nd year. I think, Ahmed, you're pretty close to the same class as Maz. Maybe you guys are a year or two apart as far as when you started in the late 90s.
Yeah.
You might have even actually done stand-up the first time in the really earlier 90s, and then maybe there was a break. I can't remember your exact details, but so I was the youngest. I started 99. It was like the summer of 99. So, and we mentioned this before. I met Maz randomly at the Ha Ha, and then he sponsors me. What do you call it? With Mitzi at the Comedy Store. He recommends me, and I had only met the guy once. And then I met you, Ahmed, at the Comedy Store. I'd seen you maybe once or twice around there. You were already producing shows, big shows, you know, the Dublins. But remember that Key Club show you did years ago? It was Mitch Mulaney, and God rest his soul.
Yeah,
and
God rest his soul. One of the greats. He was one of the greats.
He was, seriously. I remember that so clearly. So I was just starting out. I was learning how to do it. At the time, you know, we were put together by Mitzi, and I thought, yeah, it's a good idea. I don't know if there's a Middle Eastern crowd. I don't know if they'll laugh. I don't know if we have a sense of humor. It was almost like I didn't know. We didn't know. But it built, and I think we all were on the same page there. We're like, man, we're clicking. We're all, you know, on the right track. This could be something. And but it was still kind of faith in Mitzi to guide us and to keep pushing us. If we were left without Mitzi, yeah, we would have met. We would have talked about, it would be fun if we did something Middle Eastern, but who knows if we would have actually done it, you know?
True that.
One quick thing, because the last time we talked, I didn't mention it, but so we had done a bunch of shows. We'd done San Diego. We did DC. This is like 2001, 2-3-ish. It was after 9/11 for sure. So I called Dean and said, hey, there's this guy, Dean. Okay, let's call Dean. He's in New York. Dean lined up a room at the, which comedy club? Stand Up New York. And so the three of us went up from DC. I think we just took the train. I don't remember how we got there. We went up to New York and we met Dean, and we had a great night. And it was like a great introduction to not just Dean, but like, you know, a New York crowd that was so different than what we were used to. And that kind of began our opening of like, hey, we could tour, we could do other cities, we could start doing stuff, you know?
Let me interject there. You guys can all hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to interject, you know, and I think it was actually Maz's idea, if I remember correctly. We were doing the DC Improv, me, you, and Aaron, or me, Aaron, and Maz, and they were giving us really shitty door deals. And I remember we were selling out like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, and it was all Middle Eastern Arabs, Iranians, and we asked them to give us a weekend, and they said, "No, you guys aren't headliners." I think was what they said, and I was like, "Well, we are actually, but because we weren't of the, you know,
Known.
typical." Well, not known, but like even if you were known, it was more like we were such a new anomaly that they just wanted to go for the typical black, white, Hispanic comic. So Maz was like, let's just go rent a theater, and we have enough of a following. So we did. We went right down the street in Washington D.C., rented the Lisner Theater, and we sold the place. I think held 1,400 people. We sold it out, and 200 people couldn't get in. And I think we made $55,000 that night.
Yeah.
Or something like that after expenses.
After expenses, I think it was 30.
Whatever. We each walked away with like $12,000 for one night. We were like, you know what? We should produce our own shows. So segue into New York City. Enter Dean Obeidallah.
I should have got paid more. Clearly. First of all, can I say I've been spending a lot of time learning Korean because I want to go to Korea and be a star like Wonho is in the Arab world. So
you should.
I'm going to be
do it. I don't speak Korean. You do it,
buddy. I'm telling. I've been getting these weird calls in like this Asian language. Is that you, Wonho? I get them like all the time, so I'm not sure. Mandarin, whatever. Everyone else getting these phone calls like in this weird.
I get those,
and like, nobody cares. But I'm like, if you were getting random calls in Arabic, everyone would care, especially like Arabic or random English words like what Pentagon. People are calling the cops. So first of all, can I just say to Ahmed, Aaron, and Maz, thank you guys so much for including me in the Axis of Evil. It changed my life. And Ahmed, I want to say a big thanks to you. You helped me invariably. And in retrospect, I may not have shown the gratitude I should have. So I want to say thank you to you for all your support over the years. And it really did change my life. I mean, I worked at Saturday Night Live. It sounds flashy, but I was on the production staff. I wasn't a writer. I wasn't on air. And because of Axis of Evil, that show made us be able to tour and make a living as a comedian. So it moved me from a guy middling and working a cool day job, but it was still a day job, to going out and touring the country with you guys, and then the Middle East after that as well. So, you know, I look back and I'm proud of what we did in that it was inspirational to people like, we all know Rami Youssef. I mean, Rami really got to know me in a way through that, and then became part of the Arab Comedy Festival. And it became, people saw people that looked like them or sounded like them or had the same last name as them on TV. And it was transformative for many people. They thought, you know what, if they can do it, why can't I? Because that first person breaks that barrier. They're like, I guess we can't come in. They must not like us in that world. So it really still might not like us. Still, when you sell out theaters, you blow through. So it was life-changing, and I'm so happy to be here today to express my appreciation to all three of you for having a big impact on the trajectory of my life. Wonho, you've done nothing for me, but you three.
All right, guys, let me segue. Yusuf just popped up a question. We're gonna take some questions in a second, but I just want to segue right into Wonho. So speaking of Wonho, guys, Wonho Chung looped in to the Axis of Evil when we were in when we launched in Dubai. So let me just give a quick prelude to as how that happened. We were on Comedy Central. We weren't on Comedy Central. We just shot the special and they were editing it and they hadn't sold it yet. Levity Group Entertainment had produced it. We shot it in Orange County. Myself, Aaron, Maz, Dean. Right, it was in the sort of interim of like what was going to happen. And I remember going to Dubai for another gig, and pitching the idea to the Showtime Arabia people in Dubai with just a real basic DVD time code. It wasn't even edited graphics, produced, nothing. And they bought the idea, and then I was like, well, let's just go on tour. If we're going to air it in the Middle East and Arabs and Muslims around the region, 300 million, if they're going to watch this, we should follow up with the tour. So we did. Enter Wonho Chung.
All righty. Well, first of all, this reunion means so much to me because I mean I've seen all of you throughout the years, but we haven't all met. We haven't been in the same place in a long time, so it's so nice to see all of you. Listen, just as Dean said, and I would hate to quote Dean. However, you guys have really not only changed my life and Dean's life, you have changed the face of comedy in the region. There was no stand-up comedy in the region. You guys came in and you really were the catalyst for the stand-up comedy movement. And I was working for Showtime back in the day, but even before I worked with Showtime, I was working for another TV station, working as a producer. And the guy who was planning the tour was at the mall one day, and I happened to be at the mall at the same time. I was buying shoes and then trying to get a discount, so I pulled out the Arabic language skills to get a discount here and there, just the same way I did with the mirror. And then the guy from Showtime was there, and he's like, you should actually join the Axis of Evil comedy tour because you guys always said we are an Iranian, a Palestinian, and an Egyptian, and we're looking for a North Korean to complete the Axis of Evil. However, I was the next best thing. So there you go. And then overnight, my life has changed. And I think ever since we did the first show in Amman in November 2007, I think it was November 15th, and everything changed. And what happened was you guys left after a month of touring, and I stayed here to see the aftermath of what you guys have done in the region because everybody wanted to be a comedian. Suddenly, I became hailed as a comedian, although I only had 1 month of practice. So I had just started doing comedy on the same day we started doing shows in Amman. And I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Maybe until today, you know, I'm just like kind of rolling with it. But it's been so incredible. And then since then, comedy's become such a big thing. You know, you guys have come back to the region so many times to perform. Since then, I've ventured into film, TV in the region, you know, working with several brands, you know, working on different TV shows. So it's been fantastic, and I owe it all to you.
It was amazing. It was amazing watching you, Wonho. It was amazing because the way, for people that didn't see it in the region, the way the show would start, Ahmed would go up, warm up, and then he would introduce Wonho, and Wonho would come out and pretend like he's some Korean guy who barely speaks English, and you'd be speaking a little bit this and that, and the Arab crowd would be going, "Who is this guy?" And then the next thing you know, Wonho, perfect key, busts out with some Arabic song, and the Arab. Keep going. Let's hear it, man.
أنا عمري معك وهوايا هواك عدينا يا شو عدينا. There you go.
And when you would do that, the crowds in the Middle East would go nuts. Be like, ah!
Oh my God, Maz.
Holy shit.
The craziest moment was our show in Egypt. I remember it was Sa'it al-Sawi. We were just by the Nile River. We had one of the bridges going on top of us. And I think the capacity that day was 500, 700 people. We had more than 2,000 people crowding in the streets, crowding the bridge. And I remember singing that song that day, and it was echoing over the Nile. And I had 2,000 people singing along with me. And that was my 4th day of doing comedy. That's incredible. That's really incredible.
Wow.
Amazing.
Guys, real quick. Somebody has the TV on in the background or radio. Aaron, Wonho.
Aaron, is that you?
Maz.
I just muted my thing to see if it was me.
I feel like there's like a TV.
That sounds like, you know what that might be,
sort of
Dean, that might be New York City. That might be New York City sirens. No? Are there sirens?
All right.
My air conditioner's on. If you haven't, it's been on the whole time.
So let's move. Let's keep moving. We're about 30 minutes in. We had a couple questions. Yusuf, can you post those questions again, please?
By the way, people watching,
what was your favorite
International Medical Corps. Tell them about International Medical Corps.
I guess let's start with Maz. I still can't.
By the
hear
way,
mine.
I can't reply to any of these comments. I don't know how to do that, just so people know. But I'd like to, but I can't.
Hold on. Let's pause for a second. Yusuf, can you come on and show your face for a minute and let
Hey,
us hear you?
There
He's
he
great.
is.
Your sound and video is fantastic.
Okay, guys, this is Yusuf. He's our
Sunglasses indoors
producer
and
engineer.
everything.
You can.
hey, Ahmed, this might be a good opportunity for you to maybe pop out and pop back in just so you can try and hear everybody since we are all connected. What Maz was
I'll
saying.
tell you what. Why don't
Go ahead. Nice.
no, go ahead.
We're so cordial. No, you go. No, I go. No, you go.
Taruf.
Habibi, no, you go. What Maz was saying, guys, the link at the bottom, please take a look at it. International Medical Corps /access. You can donate right now. Thanks for joining us for this. Obviously, hey, nothing is perfect because it's the internet, but we're trying. But yeah, Ahmed, if you want to pop out and pop back in, I'm going to pull up some questions. If you guys have any questions.
Are we on? Is this a commercial break? What's going on?
No, you're on. He's gonna pop on some questions. Go ahead, Yusuf. Put on some questions.
I'm going to pop on some
Are
questions.
you guys able to reply to these comments at all? How do I do that? Do I have to like?
He's gonna pop it up. No, he's gonna pop it up right now.
No, I can see them. I can't reply to them.
A lot of comments.
No, you're gonna talk.
Oh yeah,
ahead,
I know.
put one
I'm
up.
just saying.
Yusuf's
Put
gonna
one up, and we'll take it in alphabetical order. Aaron, Dean, me, Wonho, Ahmed. I guess. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
Ahmed,
Yusuf.
first.
Put it up. What's the question?
Yusuf's gone.
Shout out to Afghans.
There we go. Go around the group and each do your best. Okay, best impressions. Aaron, go.
Best impression?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do. I'm retired, but I'm not tired.
Oh, the Bush.
I'm not a economist. I'm a optimist.
Keep going.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Yeah, you gotta
I've
do
been
like
pushing
30
so
seconds
long.
of it. Go ahead.
How about
How about Bush
how about-
talking about Trump? Go ahead.
man, that was some weird shit. I don't know what he's talking about, but you know who I like? I like that Billy Bob Thornton, and that's a leader. That guy's a leader. There's a difference between leadership and penmanship. I haven't done that in so long, but
I still do Bush in my act. That's about my act.
Really?
Dean, someone says you look like Tony Shalhoub. You got a Tony Shalhoub impression?
I don't. I mean, he just moves his hands a lot. I mean, I used to get Casey Kasem all the time. How did I go to Tony Shalhoub? What is
Oh,
You
it?
have a Casey Kasem? Let's hear your Casey Kasem.
Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your stars. I know, spot on. I don't really do impressions. I do a bad impression of Bush. I do guys in the neighborhood that you don't know. I do an impression of Joe in apartment 3F. It's spot on. If you heard it, like,
yeah, do Dominic.
I can't do Dominic. You want to hear when this is good? Listen, hey, buddy, hold the elevator. That's Bill on apartment 2G. That was spot on. No one can do that like me. Hey, hold the elevator. That's exactly what he sounds like. There you go. I don't do impressions. Maz, what am I? I don't do it. Sorry.
Someone said favorite Middle Eastern food. For me, as an Iranian, favorite Middle Eastern food is gourmet sabzi. Wonho, what's your favorite Middle Eastern food?
Molokhia, hands down.
Look here.
Molokhia, yep. Do you guys know what
Is
molokhia
that
is?
is that with
Sure.
rice? What is that? What's munkhia?
It's the brain.
It's rice with vermicelli, I think vermicelli noodles.
It's a green leafy soup.
Ahmed is
There
back.
you
Can
go,
you hear me,
Ahmed.
Ahmed?
Ahmed?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ahmed, what's your favorite Middle Eastern food? They're asking.
My favorite Middle Eastern food. I mean, I'm Egyptian, but I love anything Lebanese.
Ahmed, what are your thoughts on fool? If you eat a lot of fool, do you end up in the bathroom for a long time?
Good question, Maz. I don't eat fool particularly because of that reason. So, no.
You know, the trick is you need to put some soda bicarbonates in your food, and it stops you from getting gassy. I got that trick from my mom because apparently during this quarantine, I have turned into my mom. I'm just cleaning the house. I'm cooking. I'm rolling samosas. I'm like making molokhia and ma'luba. I have literally become my mom during this quarantine.
You said sodium carbonates? What are you, Donald Trump? What is that? You're talking about like hydrochloroquine? What am I supposed to put in my
is that a
food?
cure?
Let me just drink some disinfectant to help me as well.
I love chicken. Ahmed Ahmed Jaj, which means I love chicken in Mangal Arabic.
You know what, guys? You know what, guys?
Arabic chicken every day. What happened?
Mishrab Shay. You know the song, Wonho. Mishrab Shay.
مشرب شاي.
أنا بحب الزوزة. مشرب Shay.
Here's something that the
Is it-
fans don't know about Dean Obeidallah. Dean Obeidallah is like the Woody Allen of Palestinians. Not that he, molests young people, but rather that he's very picky about what he eats, what he drinks. So we would go all over these places, all over the country to fantastic restaurants, whatever. And they'd be like, Dean, look, they have Arab food, they have Persian food, they have what do you want? He'd be like, just a breast of chicken with a little bit of water, please, just a little iced tea.
A little
That's how he stays so
Just the
young.
white meat and no salt.
chicken and roast. I love chicken and rice. I eat it I order delivery every day from a Turkish restaurant by me. Like Lebanese food. It's the same thing. It's chicken and rice. I have it every day, literally. I'm the boy.
know, now that we're
Dean,
talking
were you
about
beaten
that-
as a child by spicy food?
No, his dad owned a restaurant.
Spicy food. My Palestinian cousin married a Pakistani, and all my Pakistanis hated it. All my Palestinian cousins kept going. They come up to me and go, "Don't eat the food," and I go, "Why?" And they just hold their stomach because we can't eat the spice. We can't. Everything is.
Is Dean breaking up for you guys? He's breaking
That's
up
a
on my ears.
Pakistani,
Hello
Dean.
there.
You have Pakistani cousins.
Okay, I gotta log out.
He's breaking up, Maz. He's breaking up.
Oh shit!
I'll log back.
I'm
Guys,
gonna log out and log in.
I'm gonna log off and leave. I'll be right back.
No, come back.
No, I'm kidding. How's the audio
Yeah.
now? Is it better?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Ahmed?
you were just crackling and breaking up a little bit, Dean.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah, I should log off. Log off. Come back.
No, you're good. You're good
That's
now.
fine.
Wax on, wax off.
You're good now.
I'm good now.
You're good now. You're good now.
You're
But
good, you're good.
Ahmed, I was asking if we could actually text back on these messages, but I guess I need an account or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm back.
Hey, he's back.
No,
What I missed?
So-
What I missed?
so let's.
Nothing.
I'm having bad reception.
guys.
Shit.
Guys,
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Ahmed.
Maz left again.
Yusuf is going to.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yusuf is going to feed us questions. So Yusuf, you mind feeding us more questions? And by the way, all proceeds from your donations are going to the International Medical Corps. The link is on the bottom, scrolling. Please donate to them. They're a really reputable organization. Issa Darsa, my friend from Abu Dhabi, would any one of you
Issa.
consider any COVID jokes in your future comedy material?
Dude, I am the corona joke in my material. Like, honestly, like, now I sympathize with what happened to all Arabs after September 11th. For me, traveling, I just came back from Europe a few months ago, and let me tell you, it was not
Having
comfortable
trouble here.
traveling through the airport as an Asian person. It was not fun.
What?
Somebody asked earlier, what was your favorite Axis of Evil moment? Let's start with Dean. Dean, what was your favorite Axis of Evil moment?
It probably was the actual taping of the special, which we did in California. And because we were there all day and we had to wait for the audience, we were pacing backstage and you were just hoping it was going to go well. I did any stand up on television, even though it wasn't live. And to me, I guess the sense that when it really went well, that this potentially was something special. That's what I felt like at the end of it. I wasn't sure, but I'm like, this could be something special because the audience was great. We all had great sets. We loved it. The vibe was remarkable from the people. So I have to think, actually, that there were so many moments like after when we went bowling together. There's that picture of us holding bowling balls, right? That stands out too. But it was a taping of the special to me that really sticks in my mind. I can picture standing backstage and talking to you, talking to Aaron, and running, sometimes thinking about jokes and being nervous and not being nervous and getting there early for our shirts to like clean our shirts and make sure we got there early in the morning. Remember? We didn't do the thing till like nighttime. Why did we get there like 9 a.m.? I have no idea, but it made sense in retrospect. So that really stands out to me.
Can you unmute can you guys hear me? Test.
Yep.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Maz, what was your favorite Axis of Evil moment?
I don't know if you guys are hearing me okay, but I'm kind of hearing in and out. Are you guys okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me, Maz?
My favorite Axis of Evil moment was when we almost had lunch with Hezbollah. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Beirut, downtown Beirut.
Maz, can you hear me really quick? Can Maz hear me?
No, he can't, but
It's
I can
so
relay the
funny.
message.
Maz, can you hear us?
As soon as he said that, it froze.
He froze.
He did freeze.
Hey, God, Maz. It's like saying,
By the way,
I think this is
I've
end of
told that
transmission.
story. I've told that story on stage a couple times, and people don't think it's a true story.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I didn't even know about that story until you told me when we went live a few weeks ago, because I was with you guys in Lebanon, but I don't remember that story at all.
Wait, you don't remember this? Wonho, we were in a van and we had two cars, and
It
then
was just me. It was just
I don't
me
think
and
he.
Wonho didn't come with on that trip.
Korean there.
No.
They don't want to mix it up.
Maz, tell your version of it. Can you hear me, Maz?
My version
hear
of
me?
yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can
Tell
hear
your
you.
version of
My
it. 'Cause
version
I have
of
my
it.
own version. Tell your version.
My version of it was that this guy George, who was a Christian Lebanese guy, thought it would be great for the
Habib,
footage.
George
Yes.
Habib.
Yeah.
It would be great for the footage to have the Axis of Evil guys meet some guy in Hezbollah and have lunch with him. So we were like, sure, if it's good for the movie, then let's do it. So
No,
we
he didn't
went,
say
and the guy
Hezbollah. It was go to where things were bombed to look at the devastation.
I understood it as some guy from Hezbollah was going to have lunch with the Axis of Evil, and we were going to film it. That's what I understood. So I just remember being in a van with Aaron, and Ahmed was in the car with our director Munir, who was this Muslim,
Algerian,
Tunisian,
Moroccan.
Algerian, yeah.
Algerian, whatever.
Yeah.
And so Aaron and I are sitting in the van, and the guy had told. So George's contact had said, "I will take you to lunch with Hezbollah, but you got to meet me in the parking lot of a grocery store." And we'll meet there to get started. So we're waiting, and this guy's running late, and Aaron's sitting in the van, and we're like, where is this guy? And then I'm turning to Aaron, I'm like, this is like the plot of every bad movie where the Americans get kidnapped. It reminded me the first 15 minutes of, remember The Insider with Russell Crowe? And Al Pacino played a CBS producer. It was based on a true story where someone at CBS got an interview with, I think, someone in Hezbollah or something. And to take him to the interview, they show up and they put a burlap sack over his head. Then they drive him through the streets of Beirut. I was like, Aaron, man, they're going to be putting a burlap sack over our head any minute now. And then Aaron was like, maybe I should call my parents and tell them we're doing this. I go, don't call your parents and tell them we're in a parking lot of a Safeway in Beirut waiting for Hezbollah.
Do you remember that we're in the parking lot, and then we get handed off to a guy on like a scooter, a motorcycle, a moped or something. And then we're in the cars following this guy. And then there was like a jam up, like, burning tires or like a bunch of junk that blocked the road. And that's when Munir goes, let's get the fuck out of here. We're losing light anyway. We're out.
I think what happened with Munir was in the car with our contact, George's contact, and the contact who was supposed to be, the guy connected to Hezbollah, the fixer, had like greased back hair. He had like a Tom Hardy type
so
t-shirt.
Shady.
He was smoking cigarettes. So Munir's in the car with this guy, and Munir told us later, he goes, I started talking to the guy about like Islam, wanted to get his politics, wanted to see if like maybe they're going to try and kidnap you three Americans. So Munir was like, Habibi, this, that, God is great. What's going on? And he got the guy to start spilling his guts. And it turns out the guy, basically, he said the guy was like a low level, like he realized the guy was asking if he wanted drugs. And he's like, he realized these people were somehow drug dealers. So Munir was like, call it off. Call it off. Go on, man.
All right, let me interject and tell my version of the story. Everything is true. I don't remember a supermarket parking lot. I remember we pulled into an alley somewhere. For some reason, I thought you and Aaron were in the car with me, but I guess it was just George and Munir. The informant or whoever their connection that pulled up was their legal counsel. Hezbollah's they have legal counsel. So when we told him, when Munir's like, let's call this off, because we were like, hey, we're running late. We're not going to make it. We need to get out of here. Tell Hezbollah, we're so sorry, we can't meet them. He was like, you don't want to disappoint Hezbollah. We're like, no. We don't want to disappoint Hezbollah. We don't want to disappoint Hezbollah. So
Yeah.
then he's like, okay, we'll take a rain check.
But we had a show that night. We had a show.
Right. But he leaned into the car and he gave me 2 perfectly rolled marijuana joints. And then he drove away. He says, this is from Hezbollah, and he drove away.
Oh my God.
George and Munir were like, throw that out. And I was like, no. Keep it. And they're like, throw it out. And I said, this is Hezbollah weed, bro. I'm not throwing it out. And they said, he said, what are you gonna do with it? And I remember pulling out a lighter and taking a hit, and I was like, we should have met Hezbollah.
Sure enough. Ahmed, I don't remember smoking that joint, Ahmed. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure, Ahmed, we were in 2 different cars, but while we were in this parking lot waiting, the 3 of us got in the same car, like the van or whatever, because we were sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I think that's when you guys were there.
Then we all got together.
What about, listen, our driver, Ahmed, our driver was a Christian Lebanese guy. That's where I started getting worried, because the guy we were following kept taking us deeper and deeper into Hezbollah territory, and the Christian Lebanese guy kept turning to us going, this is not good. This is not good. So when your local driver's going, they're not good, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I remember doing the Forum de Beirut. We did the Forum de Beirut, the big forum. Yeah. And I don't know what you and that other thing, but I went to the Forum de Beirut, and the producer said to us, I think Ahmed or someone's asking, can you make fun of this or that? He goes, you can say whatever you want, but he goes, if you make fun of Hezbollah, you're on your own. And I was like, a little point. I never had a producer ever before or after say, if you make fun of Hezbollah, I can't protect you. And so it was different then.
What about
I will say
you were
Lebanon was the best though. That was one of the most memorable.
I have another Lebanese moment. Dean, you weren't there, but the guys were. Wonho was there. We had a competition to see what local comedian could open for us. And I forget the guy's name, but whoever he was, he goes up. We're watching him. He's funny. We go, okay, let's have him open. The guy shows up. He hasn't showered in like a month. He stinks. And every one of us were like, I can't stand next to this guy. And I forget if it was Ahmed or we got Wonho or Jamil. Somebody had to go up to the guy and be like, hey, you got to. What'd you tell? What happened?
Say something, Ahmed?
What did you say there?
I pulled him aside. I said, hey, man, we'd love to work with you, but you gotta take a shower. You gotta. Here's some deodorant. I think I gave him some deodorant. I was like trying to mentor him. I was like, it's important to have hygiene. It's like really about. One of my favorite Axis of Evil moments was when we got to meet the King, His Majesty King Abdullah from Amman, Jordan.
Yeah, that was great.
Let's talk about that for a second. I remember.
By the way, I also never went to that meeting. I was at the hotel waiting for you guys to return. I was still a newbie, so I was like, you
were the newbie. Even though it was your hometown, you weren't invited.
Exactly.
Here's what happened.
Ahmed, I do remember you ran off to buy a suit because you weren't wearing your suit.
He's frozen.
You remember that?
Aaron got frozen.
It was something about a suit.
I got
frozen. Have a suit, and you went and bought a suit.
Yeah, basically, for those of you listening, we got to meet His Majesty King Abdullah from Amman, Jordan, and his wife Queen Rania. They came to our show, and we didn't think it was a real thing. And King of Jordan actually found us through a bootleg DVD at Hamoudi.
Yes, in downtown Amman. Yes.
But that's how he became aware of us, and we were told the King of Jordan, His Majesty King Abdullah, and his wife Queen Rania and their kids are going to come to the show, and we were like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I remember Maz and I had like connecting hotel rooms above where the venue was happening, and We heard some police sirens and saw some lights. We walked out to the balcony. Maybe Maz, you can interject and help out with the story.
What I remember is, first of all, they were in touch with us, and they didn't say the King of Jordan is coming. They said somebody is coming to the show tomorrow. We can't tell you who, but you're not allowed to record. And I with
Right.
guys, I go,
We
guys,
knew.
the King is coming. The King is coming.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically because what it was when you looked out on the street, I was always closing the show, and we would all show up together, and we'd be like, fired up. But by the time I got on, would be like an hour later, so I'd be all exhausted backstage. So that night in particular, I remember outside my hotel room the night before, there'd been a line of cars, valet parking to get into the venue. So that night I go, you know what? I'm just going to be chill. I'm going to relax. I'm going to show up like 20 minutes before I'm on. I'm not going to go there an hour early and burn my energy. Well, all of a sudden I look outside. There's no cars lined up. They blocked the streets. There was soldiers standing with guns. I'm trying to act all cool in my hotel room, like, oh, I got another hour to kill. I'll watch some TV or something. Next thing I hear, whoop, 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 whoop. I look out, SUVs like out of Homeland, just vroom, vroom. They pull up, they jump out. I'm like, holy shit, that's the King of Jordan. And so I get my tie on, I run downstairs, I go out to the street to go to the venue. There's a guy with a gun. I don't speak Arabic. I'm like, he doesn't know who I am. The King's already gone. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, comedian, haha, joke. And the guy's like, all right, I speak English, you idiot. Get the fuck out of here. So I go around to the green room. As I'm entering the green room, there's a guard again, and he's like patting me down. I'm like, what the hell? I go in, and Aaron's there. Aaron shows up. We're there. We're like, hey, man, okay, this is great. Now, the first day we did the show, the Jordanians had found this Jordanian guy who played the violin to pop music. So before our show started, they had this guy play like a half an hour violin to pop music. Then in Jordan, they smoke like it's going out of fashion. So they took a smoking break. So the show started, instead of 8, it started like at 9. So we had like an hour to kill. So the second night we show up and it's like 8:05 or something. And we're like, oh, we got an hour. The violinist is going to play. Ahmed hasn't shown up yet because he's getting ready to come out. The promoter comes running to the green room and he's sweating. He's like, where's Ahmed? Where's Ahmed? We're like, dude, relax. He's showering. He'll be here in a minute. He's like, no, we need Ahmed. I go, dude, isn't your violin guy going to play? He's like, no, tonight, no violin guy. He goes, tonight, when the King sits, the show starts. I'm like, shit, nobody told us that. So now I'm freaking out. Aaron's freaking out. We're like, what are we going to do? So we're like, let's call Ahmed. We tried to call Ahmed. They blocked the phones so nobody could detonate a bomb with our phones.
I was going to say, the star on the Wi-Fi was
couldn't
out.
use our phones, yeah.
Yep.
Wi-Fi was it. So then me and Aaron were like, okay, Aaron, you go, you host. And then when Ahmed comes, I'll be like, kaka, and you can bring him up. And we're coming up with plans. And suddenly Ahmed comes strolling in all chill. He's like, what's up, guys? We're like, what's up? What do you mean, what's up? When the King says the show starts, get ready. He's like, I never knew that. I know we didn't either. So it was all like chaos until you got on stage, and it was great.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He was a good
Aaron, what was your favorite moment?
In the air. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dean. What were you going to say?
Sorry, we were just talking.
No, King Abdullah was a good laugher. I mean, he would laugh at the jokes. He wouldn't just sit there like regal and be royal and go like, ooh, joke, thumbs down, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show and laugh. And that was,
we were afraid.
Festival, he would come and laugh.
We were afraid if he
Aaron,
didn't laugh, if he doesn't laugh, is the whole audience gonna, go, okay, the King doesn't laugh, we're out of here. Everybody out,
So Aaron, when we were invited to go meet the King. We're in the waiting room. It was just us 3 invited and our producer. We walk into this room and it's like compound palace. He walks in. Tell us your version of that story.
My version? Oh, okay. I remember we the guard, the King's guard came to pick us up, right? So we caravanned up to not his living palace, but his working palace. So it's like his office. And we were really, I wouldn't say nervous. We were just excited and wanted to look our best. And you ran off to get your suit because you, I guess you didn't pack your suit. We didn't expect, to have to dress up. So by the time you get back with your tailored suit and everything, you throw it on real quick. And then these guys zoom us over there.
And
an hour. I
He
think in
froze.
that.
Okay, that is back.
He said the word. He said the word Zoom, and since we're on StreamYard, they stopped it right there.
Uh,
I thought, what a great story.
probably right.
On the edge
So
of
keep going.
what?
Keep going with the story.
Uh,
Keep going.
I thought so we zoomed over there. We felt like we were running late or something, but I feel like we waited almost an hour, like kind of drinking tea or something like that, and then finally they come and a guy says, "Okay, yeah, they're ready." And then it was way more casual, I think, than we expected. We were all in suits, and the king comes out. He's just got a blazer and some khakis kind of vibe, and he was super, relaxed, and he made us feel relaxed. And then, I don't remember every detail because of the excitement, but I know you guys remember.
I
He
do.
said,
Let me chime in here.
"Well, I know he."
I
I know it. Yeah, go ahead.
We sat down. He actually did have a suit. I have a picture of it. He was wearing a suit. He sat down. He's like, "I'm a big fan of Axis of Evil, blah, blah, blah." I said, "How do you even know about us?" He said, "I was on a motorcycle ride
Right,
from
up the
Bay
California
Area
coast.
to Los Angeles, to California. And when we pulled over on the side of the road, my cousin gave me your Axis of Evil comedy DVD. I went home,
Right.
I watched it, and I became fans." What I do remember is when he's like, "How do you guys write your jokes? And how do you come up with your material? And blah, blah, blah." And we're all looking at each other like, "Don't you have like a important meeting or politician you have to meet or whatever?" And then sure enough, his like assistant or secretary walked in and said, Your Majesty, President Bashar is on the phone to speak with you." And he goes,
Yeah, the Syrians are waiting.
He goes, "Tell him I'll call him back." And we were like,
Yeah.
we just bumped the president of Syria.
Yeah, right. But Ahmed, I was gonna say, like, I remember that. I remember all those, but I remember him saying something about how do we write our material, and we were saying, or he said, "Have you had to change your material much?" And we said, "Well, sometimes we have dirtier material, race, sex, religion stuff." And then I remember he said, "You guys don't have to push the envelope, because just doing comedy is pushing the envelope." And that, I think all of us reacted pretty strongly to that. We were like, that made us feel a lot better about our jokes translated. And we were like, we don't have to have some amazing, our best material. Just do the stuff that got us here, not worry about being edgy and all that kind of stuff that we would worry about here in the US. You're trying to be edgy, trying to be different.
Guys,
And actually, just to follow up with what Aaron said, like it was the catalyst for the stand-up comedy movement. And because of those first shows we did, in November 2007, this whole industry boomed in this region.
Guys, just if really quick, if
Yes.
you're watching and listening, we're here with the Axis of Evil comedy crew: Dina Obeidallah, Wonho Chung, Aron Kader, Maz Jobrani, myself. I know Dean has to log off at some point because he has a Sirius XM radio show he has to adhere to. If you're watching or listening to Sirius XM radio, it's called the Dean Obeidallah Show. Make sure and check it out. Wonho, what was your favorite moment besides being like accepted and recognized as Axis of Evil? What was your highlight moment in the whole experience?
There's been a few things for me, like us arriving in Lebanon, and I think this happened in every single country we went in. We arrived in Lebanon kind of anonymous, like it was a tour, the comedians that came to the country and people didn't know much. And then suddenly, after we did the first show and doing a few TV appearances, I remember walking in Jamaiza in Lebanon, down that street lined up with bars on either side. It was raining. And I remember people opening the doors to the bars and calling us in. Come in, Axis of Evil, have a drink with us.
Yeah.
That was incredible. And for me also, like just moments that I've had with each and every one of you, like with you, Ahmed, like the week leading up to the beginning of the tour was amazing because we got to know each other better. And you were the one that broke the news to me that I was going to join you on stage for the very first show in Jordan. And that changed everything. With Maz, I remember sitting in your hotel room on the balcony drinking tea, and you were giving me advice about stand-up comedy and telling me how you left your job in advertising and started doing comedy at the age of 27, I think. And you always told me, I'm here as your older brother. If you need anything, you tell me. And then 13 years later, we're here. Aaron, all these games of Scrabble that we
That's
played
all we did.
on every single flight, every single taxi.
Yeah.
And you didn't beat me off it, actually, did you?
I have the scorecards actually still. I'll pull
Okay, we
them
need to
out.
share those. Dean, zero memories.
Zero memory.
I love you, Dean. أحبك.
Show in New York together. That's it, Juan. The only show we put together was here in New York. When you came to New York, we used to all in there. We sold out the comic strip 2 shows in a row. I helped him put it together. I'm like, who's going to come to the show? And he sold it out easily. 2 shows in one night at the comic strip here years ago. 5 years ago.
Oh my God. Like, I remember meeting
Hey,
Dean at
guys.
the Arab American Comedy Festival. It was great. And actually, just to clarify something, Dean and I never overlapped with the performances because I joined the 3 of you, Ahmed, Maz, and Aron, in the Middle East. So I never got a chance to perform with Dean. But I met him at the Arab American Comedy Festival, and we did organize some crazy shows at the comic strip. So thank you.
Sure.
Guys, real quick, I just want to throw, because Dina, do you have to leave soon or do you have time?
I'll stay like a couple more minutes. The show's 6 p.m. Eastern time, so I got to do a little prep. But thanks.
All right. Well, tune into Sirius XM Radio, the Dean Obeidallah Show. Let's just do this. I want to do a quick round of jokes from everybody, and then we'll take some questions and answers, and then we can talk a little bit more if you want, or we can log off and do this again. But I'm grateful that all you guys took the time and energy to chime in. Maz?
I'll go first because I got to run out. But again, love to all of you. Ahmed, thanks for organizing this. Thank you, Yusuf, for organizing this. Here's a joke I've been doing under lockdown. I put a whole little like a little coronavirus show together that's on YouTube. So people go to youtube.com/Maz Jobrani, they can see it. One of the jokes I did was about Trump and how he keeps coming up with new remedies. And he was saying first hydroxychloroquine, then he was saying the UV rays maybe, or drinking disinfectant. And then it hit me. I realized he's coming up, because he watches a lot of TV, he's coming up with his ideas by watching infomercials. I think that's how he's coming up with
Anybody
these
else having
remedies.
a problem hearing this?
Can you hear me? Are you guys okay?
No, go.
Yeah.
So I was saying that he's getting his ideas from watching infomercials. So I was saying in about a week from now, get ready. He's going to come out and be like, you want to clean up the coronavirus? Try ShamWow. You just clean it up and you throw it in the wash. That's it. That's my coronavirus joke.
Want me to do one and then go? And then
Let's hear it.
I'll do a quick. I mean, it's really in New York. We don't have to wear masks, and in the beginning, I wasn't into it, but now I've become like the mask police. So if I see someone without a mask, I give them an angry look. But the weird thing is, I've got a mask, so all they see these angry eyes staring at them very intently, sort of like a goose. Like I come up really close, and this is my thing now: is to be the mask police in my neighborhood. And my mom, I sent her a picture of me with a mask. She's like, finally, you're a doctor. So I've made my mom's dreams come true. And now it's perfect. Doesn't matter, I was a lawyer before. I've done this.
Or an engineer.
And my big thing is now I'm working on it. You guys can be involved in this. There's Tiger King's been a big hit here. Wonho, they have Tiger King by you? You know Tiger King?
Netflix.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm working on an Arab version called Camel Queen. It's a woman who has like 4 husbands, and instead of blaming Carol Baskin, she blames Israel for everything that goes wrong. It's a great thing. You guys can all be in my show. So, I got to prepare. By the way, Sirius XM is free tonight. Tonight's the last night. It's free. So if people at 6 o'clock tonight want to come over Eastern time, I'm on channel 127. But Maz, Ahmed, not you, Wonho, Aron, thank you guys very much. Thank you for having me part of this, and I hope we can do more. And Wonho, I love you.
Thanks, bro.
It's great to
Love
see
you, buddy.
Love you guys. Take care.
Take care.
Dean
Bye.
Obeidallah, everybody. Wonho,
Oh, thank God he's gone.
Before we wrap up?
Sorry, you were saying, Ahmed?
You want to throw a little tidbit out there to the fans before we bounce out?
I want to say something. So now I have a huge problem because now when I go to airport, you do that joke, Ahmed, you say your name is on FBI list. You know, people say you most wanted. Now the problem, go away from the Arabs, come to me. I do nothing. People keep saying, comment on my Instagram, Corona. You are COVID-19. You're the problem. You eat bad. Stop. Now it has shifted from the 13 years that separated us from the first Access of Evil comedy tour to now is like, you are no longer to blame and I get all the blame. That's how the tables have turned.
Wonho Chung, not true. You need to tell your people stop doing this type of stuff.
No,
Not
I
funny.
don't do. I'm not my people. I do my thing. I'm from South Korea. But the people think,
need to
I make
use,
all this a problem. Don't know
I need to
why.
use Google Translate. I cannot understand. I don't really have any coronavirus jokes, but Harvey Weinstein was in the news lately, and you all know Harvey Weinstein. Apparently, they're making a movie about his life, and turns out Kevin Spacey is going to play Harvey Weinstein. What I heard. That's what I heard.
Ouch!
Co-starring Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. So, Maz,
Someone's
do you
gonna
have
get
anything you
peed
want to
on.
plug, talk about? Insert.
Aaron needs to. Aaron, do your joke. You got a joke to throw at people right now?
Oh yeah, you cut out. You cut out.
Yeah, sorry, the sound got really pixely and I logged out. I can't, so I didn't hear what you guys just said.
You got any jokes?
Tell a quick
Jokes?
2-minute joke.
Oh, the line I've been using is that, you can't spell quarantine without Quran, and with all this time, it's a good time to memorize Quran. I've memorized it 3 times, and but it is funny because I finished Netflix and Hulu and Amazon
And YouTube.
and YouTube, and I finished the 93 BAFTA nominees. And how bored would we have to get to actually crack a book and read? You know what I mean? I've been asking people, like, are you reading? You know how few people are reading? Like, nobody's talking about some book they read in quarantine.
Zero. I didn't read anything.
No,
But
there's
they
too
look
much
good.
good stuff to watch.
They look good behind you.
Yeah. For
5 books.
decoration. It's decoration.
Guys,
Decoration only.
I'm running out of battery and I gotta go. I want to say namaste to all of
Yeah, I
you.
got
Thank
18.
you guys. Thank you, Yusuf, for
Maz
organizing.
Jobrani,
Thanks,
June.
team. Yalla habibi.
So good seeing you,
Maz,
buddy.
Ahmed,
Take care. Bye.
all right.
See you
I'll
guys.
let him go. Ahmed, I did want to say, Maz is gone. I want to say with everybody, but you two guys, we're like older brothers, mentors, and guides for me. Wonho talking about how he started, it brought back memories. I had just started. I had a compass of my direction, but you guys were, I felt, professionals. You were already such a good promoter, producer of things that it was, following your lead. So I don't know what I would be without the brotherhood, and I do appreciate that. I wanted to say that while you're here.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
It's really
you so
beautiful.
much. Well, Wonho, Aaron, Maz and Dean logged out. Nahal, Abdul, Ghani, Ismail. You guys are the best. Love you all.
No, Nihal, you are the best.
Yusuf, you want to come back on and join us as our engineer, producer, host?
Sure. Yeah. Hey guys.
Any like looming questions that people
So
were asking, or?
I think the most popular question that I've seen probably 15 times so far is,
When are you touring?
you guys consider a reunion?
We
Yeah,
have.
I mean,
Yes.
there have been talks about it. We were going to try to do it, last year, and just logistics, schedules, it just didn't work out. But you know what? This coronavirus, COVID-19 thing kind of brought the world back together. It brought us back together in an unlikely way. So I'm thankful to and grateful to Maz Jobrani, Dean Obeidallah, Wonho Chung, Aron Kader, Yusuf Hawash for being the glue for this technology world we live in, and bringing us together. So yes, there will be a tour when we're all allowed and safe to go out in a public and social environment, and that's the best thing we can answer right now. So
Inshallah,
look
inshallah.
out for Wonho, Maz, Aaron, Dean, and myself on Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram live interviews every day with various artists. I'm going to start hopefully doing a podcast on this platform if we can get the technology right. But we're close. We're close. We're getting there. So, Wonho, Aaron, anything you guys want to talk about? Plug? insert?
I'm baking so much bread. I'll probably start an Etsy page soon, so look out for that. But no, I'm so damn bored, and I got my hands full with the kids. But I hope we can do this again, and sincerely do hope that we can do live shows again together as well.
Definitely. Wonho,
Robzilla.
you wanna
I mean,
plug?
absolutely.
Robzilla,
I would.
what's up,
Robzilla.
Robzilla.
Love you too, brother. Wonho,
You know,
anything you want to plug?
for me, I think a tour would be amazing because Ahmed, you and I had sat down years ago and sat down with different promoters trying to, celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Axis of Evil comedy tour. For a reason or another, it didn't go through, but we were so close. And I think for us to do it for the audience would be great. For us to do it to reconnect and see each other because, I mean, I haven't seen Aron in person, I guess, in 5-6 years. It's been a long time, actually.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice for all of us to be together. On the other hand, I also have a weekly talk show that I host called on a website called www.aneveningwith.me. So tune in every Monday to check out what I'm doing on that website. And I hope that people enjoyed this little reunion we did. I love all of you guys. It's so nice to see all of you doing well. Aron, I still can't believe you have 2 kids. It's crazy.
I love you. I love you, Wonho. I miss you too.
I hope we all meet soon for a tour, for a catch up, right after this Corona situation is over.
Definitely. And guys, Yusuf Hawash, who's our talented producer, engineer, host here, we've been talking about doing a podcast. So we might use this platform. If you think it worked or kind of worked, let us know. Feel free to comment. Please go to my Facebook page, go to my Instagram at Ahmed Comedy, AHMED Comedy. I interview really cool people every day, actually.
Yes,
Aron,
he does.
Aron, I did Wonho already. Maz, I did. Aron, you and I should do one. And Yusuf, you and I were going to do one. So tune into that daily. Check back with me. My website's ahmedahmed.com. We will do this again, I think, until we can do live shows. So in the meantime, please donate down below. Thanks for joining. If you are willing and able to donate to our charity, it's the International Medical Corps. They are a very reputable relief program that offers medical service around the world. And make sure and donate to them. Make sure and follow Aron Kader on Instagram, aronkader.com, Maz Jobrani. At Aron Kader, at Maz Jobrani, Dean of Comedy, at Wonho Chung. I'm at Ahmed Comedy, AHMED. Yusuf is Y Hawash, H-A Wash, like hot wash. And my website's ahmedahmed.com, aronkader.com, wonhochung.com. I think we're all on Twitter. And any last words, guys?
Can people leave comments so that if we did do this again, people can ask questions or make a comment or a request?
So Yusuf, you can.
Yeah. So the next time we do this, we'll hop on a little bit earlier than a few minutes before we start, and I'll walk you guys through it again, and you'll be able to connect with everybody in the comments section, and I'll show you how to do that. There were a ton of comments coming in today. A lot of people donated, by the way, so thank you guys for donating. But yes, yeah. So alhamdulillah, I think this went great, guys. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah. And
it's really fun.
Everybody watching and listening live, this is our first time doing this, so please forgive us for any technical glitches and difficulties. This will have a life on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can go to my YouTube channel on my website, ahmedahmed.com. And Nahel just asked, is this going to be available offline? Yes, go to ahmedahmed.com, go to my YouTube channel. This will post right away, Yusuf?
Yeah, about 5 minutes after we're done here, it'll be on Facebook and it'll be on YouTube, and you can go back and watch it.
Go back.
All right, so then we can all repost it.
Yes.
Share it with your friends.
Exactly.
If you guys want us to come back together, because we have tons and tons and hours of stories. We barely scratched the surface. If you guys want us to come back and do another reunion, I think we're all open to it. And we hope to see you out there live in the comedy world at some point. In the meantime, Please stay healthy. Please stay safe. Ramadan Kareem. Happy Ramadan. This is our first pilot episode of Axis of Evil Reunion Tour. Aaron, you want to bring us out with some drums?
That was it.
That's it.
Wonderful.
Hey guys, don't real quick, don't log off once we go offline. I just want to give a moment to revisit the link down there to donate, because Omar asked, how can we donate? It's right down there. This was a blast. We'll work out the bugs, and I think we'll do it again, right? So,
Yeah, a lot of fun.
And everybody watching, again, please, one more time for Aron Kader, Wonho Chung, Maz Jobrani, Dean Obeidallah, Yusuf Hawash, our producer engineer. For all of you that commented.
Thank you, Yusuf.
thank you guys.
Yes, thanks, Yusuf.
For all of you that commented, watched, asked questions, and more importantly, you donated to the International Medical Corps. We are very grateful and appreciative of that. And just keep watching us online. We're going to try to bring you some more awesome content. So God bless you all.
God bless.
Love.
Cover your mouth when you cough.
Yeah, and wash your damn hands.
Yeah. Stay safe, everybody. Take
See you
care.
guys.
Bye.